Hello, gorgeous. You know the laugh is coming. I don't know where it comes from. It just automatic because I genuinely get so excited. But welcome today. What's this? Episode 9? Yay, yay. I am going to be talking about habits. Seven. I have five, 7 habits. 7 habits that you need if you're gonna, 7 habits to build to lose belly fat during perimenopause. I know I did an episode where I spoke about some of the things that you may be doing, basically unhealthy habits. And I want to talk about healthy habits. And I'm going to share with you how I come up with the episodes that I come up with. So I'm recording this right now and I'm in my office. It's really dark outside because it's really, really, really early. I'm batch recording like 3 or 4 episodes this morning. And then we're going to edit and upload them. And I am looking at a quote, and it's on a photo of my siblings and my cousins and I when we were in Jamaica. And it says, boring work brings breakthrough. And I like that quote because the success we want, whether it's on our fitness journey, in our finances, in our business, in our professional life, in our relationships, whatever area of our life we would like to see success, I don't think we realize it's the boring, quote unquote, boring, mundane things that we do day to day that brings the results. And as I'm saying this, I'm getting a download. I don't have children, but if you have children, when at 18, 19, 20, 21, they're going to become adult. And at some point, they're going to be on their own. Whether they go off to school, they go off to work, they move out. But you don't just have them today and then by the end of the week or the end of the year, they're out in the world. You have to do something every day to prepare them. Like my neighbor said, raising children, you're preparing them to be adults in the world. There's something you got to do every day. It's not just, oh, you have them and here you go. There's a lot of little things you have to do in the process, in the work, on the process. And your fitness, your fat loss journey, going through perimenopause especially, it requires the same. At this point, I've trained hundreds of women. And I remember when I started, and even now I still experience this with some women. Life starts happening because life does life. Things come up. And the first thing to always, 90% of women I've worked with, the first thing to always fall to the side, the first thing they drop when life starts happening, when, they're going through a separation, they're going through a divorce, they're adjusting to the children moving out, moving away, they're adjusting to a new promotion, they're adjusting to ailing parents. It's always the first thing is their fitness. Always the first thing to go. And I couldn't understand why. The first thing to go is always their fitness. They don't know how to juggle life when life starts happening and maintain their fitness. And it's understandable. But I also realized that was because the habits weren't there. Now, there's a difference with the end results and the habits, right? Because the end result is wanting to lose 10 pounds. It's wanting to lose 15 pounds. It's wanting to lose the fat you gain around your midsection during perimenopause. And of course, you got to work out. You got to eat clean. You got to get more sleep, better quality sleep. But how do you get those things? It is the habits. It is daily habits. Now, the reality is where we are right now, in any part of our life. It's about the habits we've chosen, the habits we have, and habits can either make or break you. You can have good habits or bad habits, right? So they can give you the success or the failure. And I'm looking at a book that I just also recorded a YouTube video on, Atomic Habits by James Clear, where he really talks about how small things, small habits, if it's even 1% a day, a month, how that adds up. And I'm definitely going to link the YouTube video before so you can check it out, how I kind of put it together with losing weight, losing belly fat. But it had me thinking about, because I'm also an avid reader. I read a lot. And lately I've gotten into audiobooks. I've been listening to audiobooks and podcasts, of course, mostly audiobooks during my workouts. I no longer listen to music during my workouts. I find the audiobooks keep me more focused. But I wanted to touch on about 7-8 habits that could be either daily or regularly that I want you to start incorporating. I want you to start adding, and eventually they will have you start feeling better, and they will help you to get to the results you want, the fitness, the losing the belly fat, and also keep it up. And I've also found that once you start implementing a lot of these, it starts having a ricochet effect on other parts of your life. So not just the fitness part, it can also start having a positive effect on the productivity of your work, right? How you also view relationships, because at the end of the day, how we do one thing, whether we like it or not, is how we do everything. So I'm going to tell you some of the habits that I want you to start building and how you can build them. Number 1, hydrate. Drink your water. You know how I feel about drinking water. And I'm sitting here and I look over at my desk and I see my water bottle, and I also see a mason jar with water in it. Water is very important. I've mentioned it on another podcast episode before, where I talk about if you are not getting enough water, you are also stressing, adding stress to your system. And of course, keeping your body stressed, it is shifting you from fat burning to fat storing, which is not what you want. You want to be hydrated. And the older we get, I hate using that word, but it is what it is. The finer we get, like wine, the more mature we get, going through perimenopause, and especially in the winter months, we lose water. Our hair becomes drier, our nails become drier, our skin becomes drier, our vajayjay becomes drier. So we got to keep everything moisturized. And also, if you want to lose belly fat, water definitely helps, because our muscles are about 80% of water. So if we don't have enough muscles, if we don't have enough water, we don't have enough muscles, and that's going to be fat, right? So you want to make sure you're drinking water. Something that I do to help me with making sure I'm getting enough water, it's out of sight, out of mind. So I find if I don't have my water bottle with me, I am going to forget. In the summer months, I'll drink more water because I'm out, I'm sweating, I'm doing things, I'm losing water, I'm sweating, so I'm losing water. Whereas in the winter, I'm mostly indoors. I don't feel as thirsty as much. So before I go to bed, I like room temperature water. Before I go to bed at night, I leave a mason jar on the cupboard with water in it. So by the time I finish my morning routine, my morning devotion, shower, get to the kitchen, the water is there. I see it there. I'm going to drink it. Once I've emptied that glass, that mason jar, I love drinking water from mason jars. I don't know why. But once I've emptied that, I refill it and put it back on the cupboard. Why? Because once I see it, I'm going to have it. If I don't see it, I'm not going to have it. In my office, I have a water bottle that I also walk around the house in with. You probably hear it just now. I'm shaking it. Once again, out of sight, out of mind. And I sip my water throughout the day. I want you to start having water with you. I want you to start having water whether you work at home, you work in an office, water in the car. Out of sight, out of mind. You need to be sipping water. If at the end of the day your pee have like a brownish, yellowish look, sip some more water, boo. Sip water and mind your business, but start having water on a daily basis. When you start, you may only have half a liter. That is fine. I remember I worked with a client once. She never used to drink water. Never. She was she told me I drink wine and coffee. She did not drink water. And within about a month, I had her drinking like 1.5 liters to 2 liters a day, and she felt the difference. So let's start adding water. Next up, movement. Movement is extremely important. Yes, I want you to work with me. Yes, I want you to lift weights 30 minutes at home. But guess what? If you're not ready for there, that is fine. I want you to find something that you enjoy. You enjoy dancing? Dance for 30 minutes every day, baby. You're in a climate where you can walk? Go for a walk. You like to swim? You got access to water where you can swim, a swimming pool, the beach? Go swimming. Movement. You need to include movement in your day. You're never moving and unhappy. Just think about no matter how crappy you feel, when a song comes on and you start dancing, baby, you feel better, right? Those endorphins, those happy hormones. Move your body. Our bodies are meant to move. Incorporate movement into your day every day, some way, somehow. It does not have to be strenuous. It does not have to be burpees. But movement is very important. Next habit you want to get into is preparing and packing your meals from home. This is still a challenge for a lot of you because it does require work. You have to go grocery shopping. Then you have to come in. You have to cut, chop, saute. You have to prepare it. But if you want the results, you have to incorporate this. You have to figure out a way. If all of this is new to you, if just you're having all your meals on the road, my suggestion, don't switch to having all your meals from home. Probably start off with one. Say, I'm going to start preparing my breakfast and having it at home, or I'm going to prepare it and have it at the office, or it's going to be lunch. But get into the habit of planning, packing, preparing your meals from home. I promise you, whatever you're making and bringing from home is going to be 60, 70, 80% better than what you're accustomed to having out, or what you'll have out or have delivered by Uber or Skip the Dishes or DoorDashes. But I promise you, get into the habit of packing and preparing your meals from home. Next thing you want to do is get into a routine in the mornings or at night. I have spoken to you about the importance of sleep. You need a nighttime routine. You need your nighttime routine could include, packing your gym bag from the night before. It could include laying out your clothes from the night before. It is little things like those. It is little things like those that you think do not make a difference, that you think's not important. That's important. So let me tell you something that I do. At my big age, as the young people would call it, I'm 44 and knocking on 45's door. On my fridge in my house, and if you follow me on TikTok or definitely Instagram, you've seen my white fridge. I'm completely okay with my white fridge. I've had people comment on it and it's like, whatever. And I have this thing on it, right? And it has my nighttime routine, and it has my morning routine, and it has my evening routine. Why? Because I find sometimes so I have a corporate job, and I found what was happening is after my corporate job, sometimes if I wasn't working on my business, I would pick up my phone and I would spend hours easily on Instagram, on TikTok especially. Then it would be time for bed, and it's like, oh my gosh, I did nothing all evening. Like, did I really just spend 4 hours scrolling on social media? That's a lot of time on social media, right? So I was like, I can't keep doing this. Then when I would go to bed, I didn't feel like I had enough time to unwind from screens. So I would get up in the next morning and I want to feel fully rested. So I was like, okay, I need to come up with a plan to start unwinding. So one of those things, I was like, I created these things, but I had it in my head. And at our age, once it's only in our head, it doesn't get done. So I had to write them down. So for example, if I finish work at 4 or for 4:30, I would spend about 20 minutes just meditating, no phone, no nothing. And then I would read, or if I had work to do, I had to record podcasts. But it's just, I started adding little things that would help, because as I said, I found that I was wasting time. And if you don't have habits, if you don't have routine, you're going to waste time, right? You have to have habits, or else you are going to be wasting time. And you know what? Let me interject a bit. I wanted to bring up something about habits. Habits are challenging to start and challenging to stick with, because it can take anywhere from 18 days to 254 days to form a new habit. So when you decide, I'm giving you a few, I wouldn't suggest that you start with all of them at once. I suggest take one and start with it. And when it's at the point where it's second nature, you automatically do it, just like how you would shower without being told to. At our age, I know we're doing that. And if you are not, I don't want to know about it. Until it becomes second nature, right? And when you start it, you're going to mess up a few times. You're going to forget. That's fine. Just keep going. Just don't stop. So it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a new habit, but about 66 days. So what's that? Over 2 months to automate a new habit. So keep that in mind when you are starting habits. Don't think, okay, you started Monday and by the end of the week, it's here. It doesn't work like that. And give yourself patience. So those are some of the habits that you can make. You can start implementing. Also, more fruits and vegetables. This is number 5, right? So 1 was hydration, drink your water, mind your business. 2nd, incorporate movement, some type of movement. 3rd up, packing, preparing your meals from home. Next up, having routine, morning routine or nighttime routine. Because if you don't have a routine, you're guaranteed to waste time and you're not going to get your results. And then you're going to wonder what happened. More fruits and vegetables. Start by having more fruits and vegetables. Remember, I did a podcast about the importance of fruits and vegetables into your daily consumption. The fiber it has, that's really good for fat loss, for keeping you full, right? So it doesn't have to be a lot to start. I know when we think of making changes, we think about the end result, or we got to see big, grand results. It doesn't have to be like that. Small baby steps. Remember, boring work brings breakthrough. Doing the small things that's going to get you the results. The small things that bring you a step closer, because sometimes it's the small bad things that don't give us the results, right? Something else is aim to go to bed around the same time or close as possible on a nightly basis. I know on the weekends we usually get sidetracked because we don't have to get up early to go the next morning. But for some of us, even if we want to stay up late, our bodies is so assimilated to going to bed at a certain time where it's like it naturally start winding down. But it's about building the habits, because our body's like, for me, by 10 o'clock, baby, my body's like, girl, you want to stay up? No. Pick somebody else. This is not you. Right? So that is one. Another one is, don't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. You're like, wait, what? Remember, a lot of the habits does not have to be what we do daily. It's also regularly. So I don't think you're going grocery shopping daily, but you're going grocery shopping regularly, weekly or bi-weekly. Try definitely to not go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, because that is how bad decisions are made. You go there, you're hungry, you're going to pick up things that weren't on the list, things that you don't normally have, but because you're hungry, right? You want it. You're looking with your eyes. So definitely try not to go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. And I'm going to throw two more in there. I know I did say like 5 or 7. Notice how my list keeps going up. I'm going to add 2 more in it. One of them is pour into you. Pour into you daily. And pouring into you daily does not have to mean 2 hours, right? It could be 5 minutes. You are worth 5 minutes. Take that 5 minutes away from social media. Trust me, it'll survive without you. Trust me, honey. You can swipe later and the same things will be there. I want you to start taking 5 minutes. It could be saying nice things to yourself. It could just be breathing. It could be writing yourself a love letter. Why is that important? Because the fact is, when we feel better, we're gonna perform better. When we feel better, we look better. When we look better, our productivity increases. When we feel better, we look better, we're more inclined to pour into ourselves. We are more inclined to do the things that are gonna make us feel even better and happier. So that's why making time for you, this is what I want you to do on a daily basis. Some of mine include, don't laugh at me, slowly creaming my skin in the mornings. It also includes before I go to the gym, 5 minutes just looking in the mirror, smiling and telling myself, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're amazing. There are days I don't feel like it, but I tell myself, and I convince myself, I become delulu until I feel it. And then, I can carry on with my day. And the next one is fun. Incorporate fun into your life, honey. Incorporate fun into your day, into your week. When was the last time you have fun? Like, I have 2 baby nephews. One is 5 and one is he's a few weeks old. Whenever I go visit them, the 5-year-old is always having fun. He's just so carefree. And I look at him and I love it, but we don't have fun because we're adults and adults don't have fun. And we think having fun means getting dressed up and leaving our house and spending money, but it doesn't have to be. Fun could be turning on your favorite song and just dancing like no one is listening. Fun could be just being on the couch. Just make time for fun. Because once again, when you do the things you enjoy, you're going to feel better and you're going to want to pour more into you. And to get the results, you gotta build habits. If you don't, you are going to fail. There's no if, ands, or but around it. So comment below which one of these habits you're gonna start implementing. You can start with any of them, right? So you can start with drinking water, movement, packing your lunch, nighttime or morning routine, having more fruits and vegetables, going to bed around the same time. Don't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, pouring into you and having fun. I'm going to do a topic about self-care and perimenopause and another one about rest and perimenopause, because those are 2 very important ones, but that'll be for another while. But don't forget to check out the YouTube video below where I incorporate the book that I mentioned, Atomic Habits by James Clear, where I kind of cross-reference how we can use these small habits to start building healthier lifestyle. And I use specific examples. I took a different angle, so definitely click the show notes below. And I will see you. Bye, darling.